Hello, everybody, and welcome back to probably your favorite podcast, or at least your second favorite podcast, Penne for Your Thoughts. I'm your host, Cynthia Erivo.
And I'm Ariana Grande.
We are currently not in the same room because we're both
No.
tired, and one of us is sick, if you can't tell. Whamp whamp. But hopefully, this works out. Today, we have some exciting updates for you, and we're going to be making advent calendars for some men in our lives. But first, the quiz.
Yes. Oh. Well, I gotta put my paintbrush down.
I like the quiz you chose because it really shows we're on the wavelength, same
Mm-hmm.
wavelength.
We didn't talk about it beforehand. It just happened.
All right.
Okay.
First things first.
You didn't say the quiz name.
Oh, sorry. Quiz name. Let's see if your wicked outfit will channel more Cynthia Erivo or Ariana Grande. First things first, choose a color. It's either pink or green.
Green is gross. I have to do pink.
Okay. Now choose an Ariana Grande
What did you
album.
pick?
Oh, I picked green. Green's my favorite color.
I don't know why I
Yeah.
thought you were like a yellow.
No, I love like emerald green and then that army green that I wear all the time.
I
The-
just think of hair colors and I hate green hair.
Oh, yeah. I hate green hair too. Pink is fun, but like green
I've
is.
had pink hair, so
Me too. Okay, now Ariana Grande. Thank You Next, Sweetener, Eternal Sunshine, or Yours Truly.
I think I've only listened to them.
I don't think I've listened to an entire album of hers. I've just listened from songs from these albums. I'm gonna go Eternal Sunshine.
I'm gonna go Sweetener.
Okay. Then choose a Cynthia Erivo movie. I hope I'm saying her name right.
Yeah. Harriet, done.
Oh, I was gonna choose Harriet.
Do it. You can choose the same one.
Okay. I don't want to get the same results. Okay.
We're not gonna get the same results.
Choose an Ariana and Cynthia duo pick. We have the 2024 Met Gala, Academy of Museum of Motion Pictures 4th Annual Gala, Olympic Games Paris 2024. That's honestly an iconic picture of them in front of the Eiffel Tower. Oh my god, there's so many. Oh, and then we have 2024 Met Gala Celebration, 2024 WSJ Magazine's Innovator Awards, Australian premiere of Wicked, special cast and filmmaker screening of Wicked, Los Angeles premiere of Wicked, and the 96th annual Oscars.
I hate the Oscars, but I have to go with the Oscars for her dress, for Ariana's dress.
Oh no, it looks like she's on a cloud. It's very throwback to when she was on Jimmy Fallon that one time and had like that bubblegum, not bubblegum, but like gumdrop looking dress.
It was like a bubble, like it looked like a cartoon bubble gum. Like when
Yeah.
that's what it looked like.
I'm going with the Olympic Games.
That was my second one.
Choose a musical, Color Purple or Hairspray. I'm going Color Purple.
Hairspray live.
Oh,
Let's be
Hairspray.
specific.
True. Ugh, I love The Color Purple. I read the book in like 8th grade and I loved it.
I remember asking my grandparents to record Hairspray live on their DVR so that I could watch it because I was going to be in school, and I was like, my parents can't record it because we only had streaming at the time, and I was like, can you guys please record this for me so when I come over on Sunday I can watch it?
I love that.
So I have to go Hairspray live.
Okay. Choose one must-have Wicked merch item. Oh my god. Wicked Alphaba Classic Crocs. Those are so cute. Wicked graphic sweater. Wicked Tabor dumpling bag. Vera Bradley. I have no idea what that is. And I love Vera Bradley. Washed Look Applique sweatshirt. Galinda wand earrings. And Wicked Stanley quencher. Which I have been trying to get my hands on this Stanley ever since it came out.
Really?
Like, I texted my family, like multiple grandparents, multiple aunts and uncles, my brothers and my parents, and I'm like, if you guys see this Stanley, please get it. Because I am obsessed with Wicked. Fun fact, it's my favorite musical. Anyways. What do you
pick
choose?
the Stanley?
Oh, yeah, I'm choosing Stanley. What are you choosing?
The Wash Look sweater, because it's the least wicked looking merch. I don't like wicked like that.
Valid. Choose a Wicked song from the original Broadway cast. Album. No One Mourns the Wicked, The Wizard and I, Defying Gravity, What Is This Feeling, For Good, and Popular. That's
I
in a
only know
tiny font.
3 of these songs. I've never actually listened to Wicked.
Oh my god.
I've only listened to the popular songs. So Defying Gravity, The Wizard, or Popular, and then The Wizard and I only know because this one actor from Doctor Who made a Doctor Who version. So I've listened to that one.
Love that. I'm gonna go For Good. It's such a sad song, but it's so good.
I'm gonna go Defying Gravity because it's all over my For You page.
Yeah. I love the people who, on Reels, mind you, who think they can do like Alphaba's riff, like that, and then they just go, ah. That is so funny. Have you seen those videos?
I haven't seen them specifically, but Smosh posted something like that where they were like, or like when you're a theater kid, it was some dumb meme or whatever, but one of the people on there was trying to sing it and she can't sing like that, but it was so funny. So I get the vibes.
I love that. I think it's hilarious. Kudos for them for trying, but still. All right, this is a long quiz. Which 2024 Met Gala look matches your style most? We have Zendaya's, Cardi B, Ellie Fanning, Bad Bunny, Jay Harris-Gee, and Coleman Domingo.
Matches my style? Bad Bunny. I love Bad Bunny. Thanks to my little sister.
Bad Bunny is so funny.
He's funny because of, I don't know if you've seen the interview, I think it's the car karaoke or something.
Yes, that's the one I'm
thinking of. I only know English because of Ariana Grande's song.
And then he literally stops in mid-conversation to be like, this is the part when I say I don't want you.
I think he's so funny.
I'm gonna go with Zendaya. Alright, choose a song. Stand Up by Cynthia Erivo or Break Free by Ariana Grande. Ooh, Stand Up. It's like
I'm gonna go Stand Up as well.
So good. Choose one. Pinocchio or Salmon Cat. Never seen either of these.
Pinocchio. Salmon. Ooh, don't pick Salmon Cat unless you support a child exploiter.
Okay, Pinocchio it is.
I don't know how to define Dan Schneider.
I know who. I have heard the whole drama.
So child exploiter.
Yeah, not good man. Not
a good man.
Okay, choose a Wicked character. Bach, the Wizard, Nessa Rose, Fanny, Shin Shin, Madame Horrible, Dr. Dillamond, and Fiyero.
Fiyero, done. Next question. That man's hot in Bridgerton, and he's hot in this too.
I'm gonna go Dr. Dillamond.
That's Peter Dinklage, isn't it?
Well, on this quiz, it shows him his picture as a goat.
Well, because the character's a goat, but he's voiced by Peter Dinklage.
Oh. Yeah, I think
I've seen so much press. Never seen the musical. Don't really know what it's about, but I've watched so much press.
It's essentially like, what is it? The Wicked Witch of the West? That's Elphaba. It's basically...
I know that.
Oh, I was like, it's her story. That's it.
Well, but that's what I mean is, like, I don't know the story. I don't know what happens, but I know Fiyero's hot. I know there's a lot of talking animals, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. And she finds out who her dad is.
I know who her dad is because TikTok told me, and I went, what?
Oh my god, we have to see the movie.
I'm so down, but I was in line for Indiana Jones when I found out who her dad is, and I verbally went, what? And Hunter was like, what? And I was like, you're not gonna get it.
Yeah.
No, you're not gonna understand.
It's crazy. Okay, and then finally, are you more like Elphaba or Galinda?
We discussed this before the pod.
I know. I'm gonna be Galinda. No, I'm kidding, I'm Elphaba. Definitely.
I'm Galinda.
Let's see. I forgot what the title of this quiz was called.
Let's see if your Wicked outfit will channel more Cynthia Erivo or Ariana Grande.
Oh, yes.
We're all black with a dash of cosplay. This idea has your name written all over it. Why not bring your favorite character to life with your magnetic energy? You love storytelling and believe in the magic of transformation. The art of illusion is your expertise. Who doesn't need an extra pair of hands? Express yourself with platform shoes, high toe buttons, high to toe buttons. Oh my god, head to toe buttons. I can't read. Hooded crop, exaggerated hips. Whatever you decide, all black is the right choice.
Slay. I think that fits you.
I agree.
Okay. Mine is where Meet the Wizard Green. You approach intricate details and value both nature and humanistic interactions. Being the steadfast tree you are, why not turn heads with this rich, deep shade of green? Waterfall ruffles cascading from around the shoulders? Yes, yes, and yes. Any material will do, but you must not leave out the nail art. Gorgeous. Well, love. Um, okay, can I rant about Wicked for a second? So, Wicked was the first musical I can cognitively remember me like listening to the soundtrack and being obsessed with, because I would listen to like Defying Gravity, Popular, No Good Deed, and The Wizard and I on repeat on my little Kindle. Like, I have vivid memories of that. And I just became obsessed, and then finally, like, I would listen to the full soundtrack once I got Apple Music. Then when my family went to London, like in 2017, I think we went. Um, yeah, 2017, 2018, we went to London. And one of the days we were there, my parents were like, there's so many musicals here in London. What do you want to see? And I named like every musical I knew, and I was like, choose one. But I didn't name Wicked because I don't know why I didn't name Wicked. And they were like, okay, interesting. And then found out, like, day comes around, and they're like, well, since we went to Harry Potter, like the Harry Potter studios in London, we wanted to make this a really wizardy, magical themed day. And they were like, we know this is your favorite musical, so Wicked. I think I didn't say it because I knew like the tickets were going to be too expensive or something like
Yeah.
that. Um, but yeah, so we went and saw Wicked, and that was the only time I've ever seen Wicked was in the London theater, and I just about cried through the entire thing. And I know better than to sing at musicals. Like, I'm not that type of person, but I will mouth along to the words, right? Because it's like, it's fun. You want to sing along, but like, you can't. And you want to be
You
like,
just can't help it. You just
yeah,
like
no, you
have
have to interact somehow.
yeah.
And I remember my mom, she leaned over and whispered to me and was like, Sierra, this isn't a sing along. And I was like, I'm not singing along. But yes, I am supposed to be seeing Wicked the movie tonight with my roommate, but I don't feel the greatest, so we might not be going. Um, but I do want to see it eventually, and I will be critiquing it hardcore as a diehard Wicked fan.
I was just saying, would you say that like is Wicked what got you into musicals, or was there something else?
I guess it was Wicked. I think Wicked was like the gateway drug.
Yeah.
But it wasn't the first musical I'd ever saw because like being a homeschooler, we would go take field trips to like our local theater. So, did you ever read the book? I think it was like Madeline or something. It was about this all girls school.
Yeah. The little like French girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um that was one of the first musicals I had ever seen was Madeline at like a local kids theater. It was not well done. Oh, but the first like actual musical I remember seeing was Aladdin, and the traveling Broadway cast, or like I think some of them were on Broadway but then became part of the traveling cast.
Yeah.
They were doing like shows in Disneyland, and I got to see them, and I was just so starstruck. And I remember watching the bootleg version of that show on repeat, like on YouTube. And so I think that's what really opened my eyes into musicals and becoming a theater kid.
Hmm.
Do you remember your first musical
I
or what?
do, because it was a movie musical.
Oh,
Technically a musical, but I got into the movie musical, or the movie version first.
uh-huh.
I was in sixth grade. And it was when the Hong Kong protests were going on in China, and
Oh,
they sang "Do You Hear the People Sing" from Les Mis, and I was upset. Like I heard it in my social studies like teacher's class because she was showing us and telling us about protests and stuff and why that song was significant and why they were singing it. There's a whole thing, and then and then I went home and I love my grandparents because they've always fostered any little amount of I'm like I want to do this. They're like, okay, yeah, here you go. And so I was telling my nana about it, and she was just like, the next time I went over, she was like, guess what I got from the library? And she had gotten the Les Mis movie because that's the only version I knew. I didn't know there was a musical.
yeah.
So I was obsessed with that movie. I got it for my birthday. I love that movie. Favorite musical of all time. And then she surprised me when we went and saw a high school production of it at a theater near her. It was like $15 tickets. She was like, "Oh, like that would be great," because they were all juniors and seniors. Like it was like a community production, but they were all high schoolers.
Yeah.
And so I remember seeing that. I've now seen that show like three times, I think. I've seen it live, but it's like I remember hearing that for the first time in sixth grade and being utterly obsessed, and then I had to do theater afterwards. And then
Yeah.
it opened, that was my gateway drug. It opened the doorway of knowing all these other musicals. But I had been going to musicals since I was like 4. My first
Yeah.
musical I ever saw was The Lion King.
Oh, so good.
So I had been seeing them for a while. I had been going with my grandparents to see them, but it was more of like I just want to go because there's free dinner and my grandparents are going to be there. It wasn't until Les Mis that I was like, oh, this is like people's livelihood. This is like cool and stuff. So
No, for real. I also saw Les Mis when my family was in London. Um, my like whenever my family travels, we try and do like one night where the boys go and do something with my dad, and then my mom and I get to hang out, which is really special.
yeah,
And so we were like, okay, let's buy last minute tickets to a show. And my mom was like, do you want to see Kinky Boots, Phantom of the Opera, or Les Mis? And I was like, I'm so down for Kinky Boots. And then I could tell she was kind of uncomfortable. And I was like, okay, Phantom of the Opera. She's like, you're going to fall asleep. I fell asleep during Phantom of the Opera. And I was like, okay, fine, Les Mis. So, and she's like, oh, but that show makes me cry. And I'm like, what do you want to see?
yeah,
We finally like we went back and forth a few times, and then we finally agreed on like Les Mis, and um, oh my god, so crazy story. I just remembered this, but um, I'm gonna rewind for a second. But when we were taking like they call it the tube, but like the metro back to where we were staying after Wicked, my brother Griffin and I were sitting together on one car, and my parents were like a little further down in the car because it was like crowded. And
yeah,
across from us, this blonde guy comes rushing into the train and then sits down and immediately falls asleep on the woman next to him. And I was like, how strange. It's like 11 o'clock at night. What is this guy doing? Like,
yeah.
that's so weird. So, anyways, my mom and I, we go see Les Mis. And I get, there's just so many memories. She cried. I cried. I didn't know there was going to be like, huh?
I said it's so good.
It is so good. All the actors, all the music was just like, ugh, had my heart going, and all of the choreography too. I didn't know they were going to use real blood. I didn't know there were gunshots that were going to happen. Like, no one told me nothing. And like me being a little high school theater nerd, like we don't use that. So I was like, oh, clearly the big dogs don't use that. Wrong, they do. Um, but anyways, during one of the numbers, this blonde guy comes out, and it was the blonde guy from the subway from the night before. He wasn't like a super important character. He was just like he was a part of the ensemble. But I literally remember freaking out to my mom because Griffin and I had told her like there was this weird guy falling asleep on the subway, like, what's going on? Because we thought
Yeah.
he needed help. No, he had just done a whole show of Les Mis and was exhausted.
It's a
So
long show.
it is, and there's so much, especially for ensemble members. There's so much going on. And so I'm like, oh, go figure. He's tired. Like, he just did a massive show. So, anyways, that was funny. And I love Les Mis. It's so good. And one of my aunts, um, she was like, the first daughter I have, I'm going to name Cosette. She still says that to this day. She has three boys.
Les Mis was the first show I think Hunter saw like professionally, and we saw it together. And it was his first time. He had no idea what the show was, but I obviously knew it, and it was my first time seeing it professionally. I said professionally. It was like Gamage, and it was a touring cast, so it was professional.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, was it at Gamage? That's
Yeah,
so
it was
fun.
Gamage. It was almost a year ago. It was December, I think, 13th.
I
So
don't know if I watch it.
it's November 24th, so it was almost a year ago that we had seen it. And I didn't tell him anything about it. I just was like, trust me, dude, you're gonna love it. And within the first like 20 minutes, I look over and I've never seen, he has really bad ADHD. I have never seen him so intently watching something. Like, he loved it. And when we came out, he was like, that was awesome, that was so cool. And he was asking me all these questions. During the musical, he kept leaning over and being like, so who's that? What is they like asking me all these questions? I was like, oh, I love this so much. This is the first thing that he really genuinely enjoyed. And since then, I've gotten him into musicals, and we are going to see Mamma Mia in May, which is very exciting. And
Yes.
then next time Hades Town comes around, we're going to see it because that's his new favorite musical. I got him obsessed with Hades Town.
Have you seen Hades Town? I forget. It is so good. It,
It's on
like,
my bucket list.
oh, I saw it when I was in New York 2 summers ago.
Mm-hmm.
And I just saw it because, like, it was popular and I only knew one song and I didn't really know the storyline.
Yeah.
Um, but my God, it is 10 out of 10. Like, whatever you're gonna pay for tickets is gonna be worth that and more. Like, it's
I'm
so good.
I'm ready to pay an arm and a leg because it's the last one on my bucket list that I will need to see.
Hmm.
Because my bucket list of theater shows is like Les Mis professionally, Hairspray, Mamma Mia, Come From Away, and then Hades Town. And I've seen four of those. So it's my last one, crossing my fingers. But it's funny because the whole time we were in Disneyland, we'll talk about this more when Hunter and I do our little pod together. But it's funny because the whole time we were there, if I started walking in front of him, I could hear him singing "Wait for Me."
Oh, that's so sweet.
I would tell him, I'd be like, we're gonna Orpheus this, like, shit. And I would just start going. And I knew he would be following me. And so then that's how I knew he was getting close because he would start singing Wait for Me.
That's so sweet. My God. Oh, no, that scene, I was bawling my eyes out. Like, I don't think I was supposed to be crying, but like there were just so many emotions happening in my brain. And I was like,
You're
oh,
supposed to be crying.
well, I don't know. It's not, it is like a sad song, but like, I don't know. I felt like I was overreacting because nobody around me was crying.
I think if in that show, if you were gonna cry, that's probably the perfect place to cry.
Right? So I'm not too crazy. But I also saw, because one day I had a day dedicated to Book of Mormon, because I was in New York for 6 days, or like, I guess 5 whole days. Um, and I would dedicate a day to seeing different parts of New York, visiting to different things. And one day I just had dedicated to musicals and Broadway musicals. So saw an early morning show. I saw early morning showing of, I forget, it was not good. Um, it was about someone. Oh well, I can't remember. Yeah. And then I saw Hades Town in the afternoon, and then I saw Book of Mormon with my dad at night, which also I think Hunter would like Book of Mormon. Like,
I keep telling him he needs to listen to it as an ex-Mormon. And he's like, I have listened to it. I'm like, and? He's like, it's not funny. But yes, it is. You just are trying to be a little, yeah. He
No,
likes
true.
to do that. But I keep making references, and that's another show I would like to take him to see eventually. We're planning
It's
on going to New York in a couple months, hopefully crossing our fingers.
if you need help planning an itinerary, I will send you mine that I made.
I would love that.
Okay. Uh,
2025 is our year of travel, crossing our fingers.
I'm so jealous.
It's
But
not fun travel. It's a lot of traveling just for family. So.
well, fingers crossed you make it fun. Um, but Book of Mormon, the soundtrack is not well, okay, rewind. I was gonna say the soundtrack is not as funny as the show, but like it's funny, but then once you see the show, it's 10 times funnier.
Really?
Because like the actions they do or like facial expressions that you can't hear, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
it's like really nail the jokes. So if it ever comes to Gamage, you guys should definitely see it. It is a little iffy. Like I was texting my Mormon friend um, that I saw it, and she was like, "That show is a little rough." But hey, it's made by the creators of South Park,
Who
so
are
what do you
Mormon?
expect?
We're Mormon.
Yeah,
Ex
we're.
Mormons. So I
I'm like,
trust.
what do you expect but cruise humor? It's good.
Also, South Park? Love South Park. That's the show Hunter and I bonded over.
I love that for
If
you.
we ever eat in the car, that's what we watch.
My dad loves South Park. He thought it was funny.
We're a South Park family. And
Um, and Family Guy was good. Ugh, I need to watch more TV. But when guess we'll transition to our next segment, Fabian update.
oh yeah, I forgot we had like segments.
I know we were just talking, and you were getting mad at me for just putting shooting the on the agenda.
It's like anyways, give your update, and then I have a thing to talk about next.
Okay, so
Like,
my update is we're no longer talking. Um, I laugh, but it's not funny, but it is. What were you saying?
can I ask what happened? Or is that not
Yes,
podcast story?
I'm gonna give you the lore. Um, so after that last podcast was released or recorded, you guys will hear one more episode that we recorded that same day. Um, and he had asked me to be his partner like 2, 3 days later. And I was like, but yes, of course. Because I was like, this guy is literally the one, in my brain. I'm thinking that. And so then I go down to his house, not this past weekend, so not the 24th, but the weekend before, the 19th, I guess that is. No, 18th, whatever. And because I was supposed to go home, and I didn't end up going home, and I was like, hey, can I just like spend the weekend with you? Like I need to escape from this town.
You had an awesome dog sitter already lined up.
No, truly, and I didn't want to put it to waste, you
Yeah.
know? So all in all, good trip. So we go down there, and I'm spending like 3 nights down there. Like I get down there Thursday, we have all day Friday, Saturday, and then I leave Sunday morning. So Thursday we just kind of hang out. Friday he has therapy, and then I have a staff meeting online, and it's like we're doing independent things, but we're still together, which was really nice. And then Friday night was the Jake Paul fight and Mike Tyson, which rigged. Absolutely.
100%.
Like, what the. Ugh, like, watching Mike Tyson prep for the fight in his videos and then see him perform like that, I'm like, you should have just pretended to break your neck or something. Like,
So, why is a 27-year-old man going after a man in his 50s past his prime?
no, truly. And I think it was only because of the name.
Oh,
Like, that's what.
100%.
And I'm like, oh, Jake was wrong for initiating that fight, anyways. Like,
Jake's always wrong. Jake Paul. I think I'm going to win in cuss count this time.
so real. But the Taylor versus Serrano fight, did you watch that one?
I only watched
Oh my God.
Jake and Mike.
The Taylor versus Serrano fight, it's these two women. because in the card it was two men, or there was two fights before. Fights 1 and 2 were both male fights, and then the third fight was two women. I think it was Serrano. She threw over 700 punches in the entire fight.
That's crazy.
No, they were boss. Like, I can't use any other words to describe them, but it was so empowering to watch them. And, like, I wasn't really watching because I don't really like blood, gore,
Oh,
all that
my
stuff.
friend who was there.
You're what?
I had a friend who was there. My friend Tommy. Shout out Tommy. Not that he's gonna listen to this because he's not supportive, but he's from England and he flew out just to go see this fight, and then he flew back the next morning.
That's crazy.
Him and his brother, and I say his boyfriend, but it's his best friend. But you would think they're dating at this point.
Yeah.
Flew out, literally went to the fight, and the next morning at like 6 a.m. flew back.
Oh my god. That's ridiculous for that show.
Yeah. I was getting live updates. It's pretty crazy.
That it just pissed me off, but it was all good and Fabian was like narrating it to me as they were happening, because like I was doing homework, catching up on like some stuff that I missed for work, things like that. And so he was just narrating it so that way I wouldn't have to watch exactly what was happening, so I didn't have to see all the blood and stuff.
Yeah.
Which was really sweet of him. And also, like, who else was at the fight? Donald Trump was at the fight, Joe Jonas, Shaq, a couple other people that I'm forgetting, but a lot of big names. So anyways, that was Friday. And then Saturday, we Instacarted together, which was really nice just to, like, exist with him, you know, and just kind of shop around. And sorry, we're making advent calendars. I don't know if we mentioned that already, but
We've mentioned it like 4 times.
it's hard for me to do two things at once. But Saturday, we did that. We were watching more fight recaps and different fights and things in the afternoon, and then took a nap. And so that put me in a really weird headspace for the rest of the night. And then we got food, went to the casino, and watched the other fights. And I was just in a weird mindset. So we went to Red Robin, which the food honestly made me feel a lot better. And then we went to the casino where Fabian works, and he got to watch the fight while I gambled, and I got to play slot machines, which I had never done slot machines before. And on the machine, I won $150, right? And I had only put like 40 in. And I was like, I should withdraw. Like, I should cash out.
Yeah.
Nope. I didn't. I was like, I'm going to go for the jackpot. And so I just spent all the money that I won and then the rest of the money that I withdrew. So, oops. But I had the mindset, like, going into the casino, I was like, I'm not going to win. I'm just doing it because I've never done it before, you know? So, and I got a pretty decent paycheck, so I was like, I'm not too worried about this. But anyways, Sunday is when I have to leave. So Fabian and I go get Dutch. And we, like, say goodbye. And I could tell something was sort of off. You know, like, you kind of just get the vibes. But I didn't want to push, I didn't want to pry. And then as I'm driving back up, he texts me when he gets to work, and he's like, I miss you already. And I'm like, oh, okay, everything's fine. But then he doesn't FaceTime me on his lunch break, which he normally did. And, like, I would have been home at the time he had taken his lunch break, so, like, I knew he would have been fine to call me because he doesn't like to call me when I'm driving. And then at night, I wish I still had the messages, but I deleted them. At night, I was like, do you want to FaceTime? And he was like, no, honestly, I'm in a really weird mood right now. I don't want to FaceTime. And I was like, oh, if it's because of work, like, that's fine. We can just hang out in silence, you know? Like, we've done it before. And he essentially was like, no, like, I think this night, like, I don't want to sleep on FaceTime. Like, I think it's just, like, I need to sleep. And I was like, okay, weird. And so I was giving him his space because, like, normally I'm not good at that. Normally I'm really good at prying. which is really toxic of me, but we're working on it. And so this is Sunday night. Monday morning rolls around, and I text him. I'm like, "Good morning, babe. Hope you have a great day at work, whatever." And I see that he reads it, and he doesn't respond. And then in the afternoon, I text him again. I was like, "Hey, I'm home from school. Like, I had meetings get canceled that day, so I was home all day. And I was like, if you want to FaceTime me during your lunch break, feel free to." He's like, okay. He didn't respond at this point either. And I was like, this is really weird. And so I texted him again, like maybe 2-3 hours later, after I knew his lunch break was ending, and was like, hey, I don't know what's going on. I can see you're reading my messages, but if you want to talk about something, please, let's work this out. Yeah, hope you have a good day. Whatever. And I was like, you come to me essentially like whenever you want, whenever you feel comfortable. Because I was like, I'm tired of trying to go to you. So then later that night at like 10 or 11, he sends me an audio message. And he's basically like, this weekend with everything, like, it was really great. I do have great feelings for you. Anything that I ever said was not a lie. And all of this, whatever. And basically was like, it's me, not you, kind of thing. Exactly. Em just scrunched her face. So, exactly. That's for our audio listeners. Well, this isn't going to have video. This is just...
video.
We have video, yes. We're on a video call so we can see each other's faces. But, so that happened. And he basically was like, I really appreciate you. Thank you for everything. Like, you're such an awesome human being. Yada, 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 but I'm breaking up with you. And I was like, great, cool, this is great. And so that was Monday night into Tuesday morning. Couldn't stop crying. Was absolutely a wreck for this week. Not just because of him, but a lot of other stuff has happened too. And so mental health has not been great, in all honesty. And then my period started. And I was like, oh, that's why. So, yeah. So anyways, yesterday, I reached back out and I was like, hey, now that emotions have kind of subsided, I wanted to reach back out, see if you were willing to continue things, because, like, I think what we had was so good and I really don't want to throw it away just like that. I'm willing to talk anything out and work on anything. Like, we're both human, we're both growing, we're both, learning, and I don't think we should throw this away. No. And essentially he was like, thanks for reaching out. We've, what did he say? Oh, he said, we've run our course. There's nothing else we can do. I truly wish you the best. I was like, oh. So, that sucks.
I don't know if it's because I just have, I always think the worst, but my first thought is other women. But that also might be because I was the other woman twice.
Well, hold on. Let me sip water, and I will tell you the tea, sister.
Am I right? Also, the way you said sister sounded like James Charles. Anyways.
Well, that was the point. Sister.
It kind of scared me. Ooh, just scared.
But, so, I don't know if there is another woman, because...
Yay. Sorry.
He has this ex. Where's my glue stick? He has this ex who he dated for, Do I air all of his dirty laundry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You can cut it later, but I want to
know. So he has this ex who he dated for 7 years, moved to a different state for her, and then they broke up. So anyways, while on Saturday, she calls him, and I see that he's getting a call, and I was like, who's that? And he's like, oh, my ex. I was like, okay. And then he told me, he's still friends with his ex, which I'm like, fine. You're in a relationship for 7 years. I get it. It's
7 years?
Yeah, 7 years.
Sorry to our audio listeners. That threw me off.
No, you're good. But yeah, 7 years, and he moved to a different state for her, things like that. And so Um, yeah, I forget why they broke up, but
Crazy.
uh, he essentially like told me this whole thing, which he didn't tell me at first, and I was like, okay, because I'm not friends with my exes, mainly because my exes are really people, and I was like, to each their own. But you think that would be one of the first things you tell me, right? And no, you said it yourself. You want an excuse to stop talking to her. So make up an excuse or use me as an excuse. And he was like, yeah, true. So, anyways, I don't know if there's still feelings there or something, but that's my update with Fabian.
Guess
And
what? Sorry. Not that- Guess what? Because I remembered something that I was going to tell you.
oh, what? I was pretty much done.
Guess who I saw walking into Walmart? I saw with his new girlfriend, and I walked right behind them. I was like walking, and I was on my phone because I was going
Wait,
to buy like,
here?
yeah,
What the fuck is he doing here?
because I was going to buy like the candies and stuff from Walmart. Because I was like, oh, they always like their Christmas stuff is always super cheap.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'll just go buy little things like that. And so I was walking up, and I was on my phone, and but or at least cut his name. And so I was like on my phone and I heard someone laugh and I was like, oh, I haven't heard that in the hottest of hot minutes. And so I happened to glance up and he was wearing like the same jacket he wore when we were together, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And he's with this, I know she's a freshman. And you know how I know she's a freshman? Because I'm friends with her sister.
Oh my god.
And they're holding hands, being all sweet, walking into Walmart. I was walking right behind them, and I was like, huh? And because at first I was like, there's no way that's him. And he happened to turn, and I was like, oh, yeah, no, that's him. Okay. Sick. Awesome. So fun. So yeah, I saw him walking into Walmart.
That's insane. Because isn't he older too? Like 24, 25?
He's a year older than I am. So he's 23.
Oh. I thought he was a lot older for some reason.
No. I kind of went up with ages and then went back down because I went, he was 21, next guy was 23, guy after that, who I didn't really date but I didn't talk to for a while, was 28, and then I went down to 20, went down to Hunter and he was 25.
Who was the 28?
Some guy who was in the military or something, and he happened to pop up, and I didn't read his age, but I thought he was cute. It literally didn't go anywhere other than like we texted for like a couple months. Like we never talked on the phone or anything. He had a kid, and so that's why I was like, I don't see this going anywhere. But I didn't tell him that.
I see.
I needed someone to talk to.
That's so real.
But
I'm fighting for my life not downloading dating apps again because like I just feel like a piece of trash at this point.
you're not a piece of trash.
I know, but I feel like it. And it's just so frustrating because Fabian was like, we'd make the jokes of like, oh my god, marry me. Like, because one time he found out that I prefer boneless wings over bone-in wings. And he was like, marry me? And we'd make those jokes back and forth. And he'd say, like, you're the one, you're so perfect, yada, yada, yada. And so I, like, let my guard down as soon as he made it official. And I'm like, damn, I don't know if my guard will ever come down again. And so I'm like, am I worth it? But anyways, that's a whole different comment. Should we get an advent calendar update? How's yours coming along?
I painted 5 boxes red.
Heck yeah.
That's where I'm at. What about you?
I'm currently gluing all the little pieces of paper that I cut onto my boxes. And I'm about halfway done. It's taking not too long of a time now that I have all the papers cut and stuff. It's just like, I like to talk with my hands and I can't use a glue stick while I'm talking with my hands.
I get it.
So.
It definitely would have been more time efficient if I did paper, but I don't like dealing with it. So
that's fair. Like, this is the kind of paper I have. It's a little mistletoe.
Oh, that's cute.
I should have.
Oh, go ahead.
I was like, I should have chosen colors Sammy could see, but like, He's a dog.
And my goal is to make this reusable so that if I ever have children, this is what they get to use for advent calendar.
That's such a cute idea.
I say a very heavy if, because with the way the world's going, that may never happen.
Oh my god, truly. But who knows? I don't know. Hi, Sammy. I hope Sammy doesn't like destroy it. So I was wondering if you could do his little advent calendar with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I swear, if we didn't tell anyone he was a dog, you'd think he was a child.
No, truly. He just doesn't talk that much.
He's autistic.
Quite
Wow.
clever.
He's got autism. I almost bought Sammy a toy when I was in Disneyland.
Oh my god, I would have Venmoed you if you did
I
that.
was, Hunter can say, I was toying with the idea because there was this little, we were in downtown Disney and there was a little dog toy and it was like a little Mickey Mouse head and he squeaked and I had it for the longest time. I was walking around with it and then I set it down to grab something else and someone took it. And I was like, what the heck? And so we went back to get another one and they didn't have any and I was like, I'm so sorry. I almost bought Sammy a toy when we were at Disneyland.
That's so sweet. I'm excited to hear the Disneyland episode.
I'm excited to talk about it because I loved it. It was so needed. It was a good test to Hunter and mine's relationship because that was a rough trip.
Yeah?
Yeah. I give a little sneak peek now, but basically we had to share a hotel room. We didn't have to, but I didn't want to pay extra money for a hotel room. So my grandparents were also going to be there. It was unrelated. It just happened to be that we were going at the same time they were going. And they were going for a whole week, whereas we were only going 3 days. So we were like, oh, can we just, you got a room with 2 beds. Can we just take the other bed? And they were like, sure. Keep in mind, both my grandparents have CPAP machines. So it's a very loud room.
Yeah.
My can't sleep unless it's insanely quiet. So he was having a rough time. But it was really nice, and we hung out with we ended up hanging out with my grandparents a lot, which was really nice. I never do that more. And we did like so many rides, more times, the whole thing. I can't wait for that podcast episode because we're going to talk about Hunter's struggles because he had more struggles. Keep in mind, he's 6'5", so those rides are not necessarily built for people of that height. But it was fun because we had a lot of weird inside jokes that we just started saying. Like, okay, I don't know if it's made it to Reels yet, but there's a clip of Barron Trump. I don't support the Trump. There's a clip of Barron Trump saying, I like my suitcase. And the whole trip, I was saying it, he was saying it, my grandparents were saying it. My grandparents were going, I like my suitcase. It was really funny. It was a great trip, very much needed. It was nice to hang out with just my grandparents for a little bit, but yeah, it definitely was a testament to Hunter and I's relationship in some aspects.
I mean, valid. I'm glad y'all survived.
Me too, because there was a hot minute outside Galaxy's Edge. If you happen to see us there and I was sitting on a wall drinking my coffee and looking like I was crying, it was a rough time right there.
Oh, jeez. Not in Galaxy's Edge.
I just was like, we just both were, you know when you spend so much time with someone and you're like, I'm ready to just rip your head off.
Yeah.
That's where we got to. That was the point we got to.
Am I invited to that episode, or are you just going to record by yourselves?
It's up to you if you want to be invited to that episode. Originally, it was just going to be me and him, but if you want to be there, we can make it work.
I think it'll be better just you and him, because I have nothing to contribute.
Ask questions like you did the last time.
I could, but I'll just let y'all do it.
Okay. I was going to, talk to you after this and be like, you want to be there? Because I don't care. And if he doesn't care, it'll be a lot of me talking.
What do you mean? Hunter's a talkative guy.
I'm lucky if I can get like 2-3 words out of him.
Valid.
What else are you going to talk about on this podcast?
Well, do you have any plans for Thanksgiving? We're recording this right before.
Yeah, we're recording this right before. Kind of. So I leave from the place we both currently live on Wednesday. And we go down, and I'm spending Thanksgiving for the first time ever with Hunter's dad.
Ooh.
And I'm scared about. Because for those who don't know the deal, Michael and I are not friends. Michael actually really doesn't like me. And, yeah, we are not buddies at all. Not by my choice, by his choice. But he actually invited me to Thanksgiving. So Because I was talking about Simmons, and he said yes. So I'll be spending Thanksgiving morning. This is why I hate dating someone who also has split parents. We're going to 4 Thanksgivings.
Oh my god.
No, 3 Thanksgivings. It was 4. I cut one. I normally cut that one. Sorry to my stepmom's family, but it's just because timing never works out. I'm never able to do all of them.
Yeah.
And so I was gonna go this year, but then we had to cut it because his dad was like, "Hey, come do Thanksgiving," and I was like, oh, "Fine." So we're doing Thanksgiving there, which is gonna be kind of awkward because, let's just say Michael is trying to cut it off with his girlfriend, but keeps inviting her to things. So that'll be fun and awkward. And Hunter and I are ready to watch that fire burn.
Ooh.
And
Yikes.
then after that, we're going to my dad's Thanksgiving, or my dad's side of the family's Thanksgiving, which is my favorite Thanksgiving because I love that side of my family. And then we were gonna miss out on my mom's side of Thanksgiving, but no, my cousin, thanks Travis, decided to work that day but have off the next day. So we're moving Thanksgiving to that Friday. So on Black Friday, we will be celebrating a third Thanksgiving, thanks to my cousin who works at the airport.
Wow. That's crazy. But it sounds like it's gonna be a pretty good time.
I guess I just hate talking to all my family because you tell the same stories, everyone asks you the same questions. It feels like you're at a press tour.
It really does. How's college? What are you studying? What are you gonna do when you get out?
Yep.
How's the wife? How's the kids?
Because I can answer all those questions. But a lot of it right now is like, I don't know. I think it's funny because one side of my family, my mom's side, very much is like they like Hunter, but also they don't know what to talk about with him. So they just like don't say anything to him, which is always funny. And I know he doesn't mind, but I'm always like, guys, talk to him, don't talk to me. He's the new guy. I'm just
Exciting. Also,
Secret Santas, but my dad's side of the family, because we're so big and there's so many of us, we do Secret Santa. Oh, look how cute! That's adorable.
thank you. It looks like patchwork, and that's kind of what I was going for.
This is what all my boxes look like right now.
Slay.
They're just red. We're doing a little candy thing. Oh, did we say enough how the vibes we're going for?
No, I don't think so.
I
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but we should probably say what vibes we're going for.
Go ahead, what are your vibes?
So, for mine, I'm kind of going. This was for Fabian, but it's now for Sammy. But essentially, what I'm going for is like a patchwork kind of vibe. So I have 4 different pieces of paper that I have cut and glued onto these little drawers. I have red and white paper, and then I have paper with like mistletoes, and then another one that says like Merry Christmas. And then I have a bunch of stickers that I'm going to be sticking on here in a second. And yeah, and then I'm going to buy treats whenever I feel better and put little treats in here for Sammy. But that's mine. What's yours going to be like?
Mine is, Hunter, if you happen to be listening, tune away now. Mine is giving, I want to give Little Red Truck with Christmas trees vibes. Originally, I was going to go blue and white because I like that color combo, only realized it's Hanukkah, and neither of us are Jewish, so I didn't want to do that. Not that I don't like Hanukkah, I just don't want to accidentally offend someone. Or give the wrong impression. So instead, we're doing red and white, candy canes on the front, and then there's lots of Christmas trees around it to give that little red car or little red truck vibes.
I'm so excited to see yours.
I'm not, because I know it's not going to turn out the way I want, but I also kind of wanted it to look very handmade.
That's valid. I mean, that's the point. And it was like, go for it.
I was just saying, I'm in the era of like, I want all my Christmas decorations to look like I made them.
No, truly. And I honestly, I like handmade gifts better than like package of mumbo jumbo. You know?
Oh my gosh, should we talk Christmas gifts? Because I currently have all of Hunter's Christmas gifts.
Ooh.
Hunter, if you happen to tune back in, tune back out for a second.
Top Christmas gifts? You go first.
I was just going to say, I just want to talk about what I got him. That was
okay, go for it.
Let me talk about what I bought him. So one of his presents is this advent calendar, and he does know he's getting it. but it's because I bought two things. I like to buy him socks, so I bought him this giant pack of socks that are like Rick and Morty themed. I don't know if he likes Rick and Morty, but it feels like a very guy show.
Yeah.
So I got him that. Whenever, huh?
Doesn't he have a pair of Pickle Rick socks?
He might. I don't know. That
Okay.
man, if there's one thing he loves more than me in this world, it's socks. Um, he has so many socks, and they're not just like plain socks. Like they're a bunch of just random socks. So anytime there's like a, Rick and Morty reference, he'll be like, "Oh yeah, this reference. Don't you know that?" As if I'm supposed to know it. So I got him those, and then I also got him. I was walking around Walmart, and they had like a pack of 4 for just like alcoholic beverages, and they were just random ones, and I was like, sure, I'll buy him that. So those are in his advent calendar, as well as candy and tea because he's an old man.
I
Um,
like that.
and then I also bought him like a. I realized recently, this all ties into the present, that men don't carry their toiletries the same way women do. I realized that a man is okay with just a Ziploc bag, and that's it.
Free ball in it.
And it really irks me because
Uh-huh.
he'll have his shoes and his toothbrush in the same compartment of his suitcase, and it's like that's disgusting. Not actually, but like to give an example. And so I bought him like essentially a makeup bag, but for men. It's a very manly bag. It's all gray and leather. And then in it, it has like a Bath and Body Works room spray because he always talks about that. He likes the one I have because I have two. He likes that I have that just in case, just spruce up the room. And then I bought him hand sanitizer because that man does not carry it around with him, and it kind of bugs me. It irks me a little. And then I got him soap because he really one thing about my boyfriend, he really likes hand soap, and that's not to be funny. Like he genuinely enjoys hand soap.
Does he like liquid or like bar soap?
He likes liquid, but he likes foaming soap.
That's so funny.
He really likes soap. Anytime we go to Bath and Body Works, he goes to the soap part and he just smells all the soaps. So I bought him soap, and then I bought him like a nail kit. So it came with like nail clippers and like scissors for your cuticles and hangnails and like the whole thing. So I was like, he doesn't have any of that. So that's one present. Advent calendar is another, and then I bought him a noodle bowl that's Nightmare Before Christmas themed because I just discovered recently he really likes it. And I bought him Nightmare Before Christmas socks, and then a under the desk cable organizer. Those are his Christmas presents.
Ooh. Love.
We only do 3 presents. We say like 3 presents is it, but it can be like a bag, and that's 1 present, and then you can put little things inside of it. So that's why it's like 8 things, but it's 3 individualized items.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
thanks. That was just me wanting to boast about what I got him because I actually think I did good this year.
I also think you did good. I think I'm going to get Sammy some new toys and new kennel pads. Because right now, or like kennel linings, because right now, his kennel out here, he has like a mattress, but it's too big for the kennel, so it's kind of folded up on one side.
Mm-hmm.
And then his kennel in my room, I just use like 3 different old blankets that I don't use anymore. And so I think I'm just going to get him kennel pads for Christmas. He's also twitching in his sleep right now. He is napping hard. I don't know, I'm gonna get him some toys, but I'll be here for Christmas, which is like, it won't be the first time I'm away from my family during the holidays, but I don't know, it'll be interesting because I think my roommate's going back home too, so I will be alone, which means I'll just be me and the dog, and I'll be recovering from surgery for Christmas. But I do get to go home for Thanksgiving, and I'm very excited because I haven't been home for Thanksgiving in about 4 years. Because my freshman year, when like the panini was happening and lockdown was rampant, or panini was rampant and lockdown was happening, as I meant to say. We did this thing where like finals were the week before Thanksgiving. So like this week we technically would have had finals, and then we would be home from the week of Thanksgiving until like January 28th. So we got almost 2 months off my first year of college.
Jeez.
So, yeah, that was the only time I have been home for Thanksgiving. And I'm very excited because I get to see my middle school best friend. I get to see the homie Nashika. I get to see my grandma Bonnie, who I haven't seen in a very long time. I'm very excited to see her. Um, and then on Thanksgiving, my parents like to do this thing because like they live in pretty much a cul-de-sac, like an edge of a cul-de-sac.
Mm.
And so they're hosting appetizers and drinks. And then after appetizers and drinks, we're going to someone else's house for like more food, more like dinner courses. And
Mm.
then after that, we're going to a different person's house for like dessert and stuff. And then we're going to a different person's house for like more drinks and celebrations. And so it'll be really fun to see how they celebrate because now that I was gonna say now that their kids are gone, but like my brothers still live at home. They just work all the damn time. But now that their favorite child is gone and in a different state, their self-proclaimed favorite child, they don't really do any of the old like holiday traditions we used to do. Like we
Mm.
used to do a big Thanksgiving dinner and all that, but now that I'm gone, they don't. So, but that's my plan for Thanksgiving. I don't know if I'll see my brothers, but time will tell.
Yeah.
And also, oh my god, these stickers are wood. Like I have little gingerbread stickers, but
Um.
they're like, hold on, let's see if you can hear it.
Oh my gosh.
Like that was just me banging them on each other. Anyways, I forgot what we were originally talking about. How's your
Jumping
advent calendar?
everywhere.
Huh?
I said we've been jumping around everywhere.
Truly, but that was the agenda. So, um,
Oh my gosh, should we do my new segment? Guys, this is the new segment I thought of while I was walking around Walmart. So I thought of current obsessions because I know we get obsessed with things pretty frequently and pretty regularly. So I was like, okay, we should not monetize. What is it? Monetize it.
Monopoly.
Monetize it. So, Sarah, what are your top current obsession right now about anything?
My current obsession. I have
I
so
have
many.
mine, but I think you should go first.
Okay. Um, I have three, but they're
Go
all
for it.
kind of small. Okay. One of them is Tyson frozen chicken patties. Like, it's been my obsession for a couple weeks, but I
Mm.
just went grocery shopping, and so I just got a whole new bag. But Tyson makes these really yummy chicken patties that all you have to do is like microwave or throw in the oven, and then you toast some buns, put some like mayo or I do mayo, lettuce, cheese, and pickles on mine. And
Mm.
then it's just like an easy sandwich that you can take on the go and it's ready in like 2 minutes. So that's one of my obsessions. My other obsession is the canvas Trader Joe's bag I have. It's over there. And it is so fun because it is large. It has pockets on the outside. I wish it had a zipper, but I'm probably just going to sew that on. Um, and then my third obsession right now. Oh, it's this. This vanilla bean Noel hand sanitizer from Bath and Body Works. It smells how my middle school smelled.
Really?
Like or like middle school memories, because I would use this hand sanitizer a lot in middle school. So that's why it's just like the sensory memories. But I'm gonna use some right now. What's your obsession right
The
now?
Starlight Express. Do you know what that is?
The Starlight Express?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Elon Musk's thing that's in the sky?
No, it's a musical about trains. Let me give you the rundown. So, it is a musical by what's his name? Andrew Lloyd Webber. It's essentially about think Little Engine That Could vibes,
Yeah.
and so essentially it's a musical about trains, and it all takes place in the imagination of a little kid. It used to just be Little Boy, but now they just revamped it in London, and now it's just Little Kid because they have a little girl who plays that part too. And essentially, it's personified trains, and you have the main character whose name is Rusty. He's I believe, a steam engine. And then the bad guys are called Greaseball. He's a diesel engine, and Electra. They're an electric train. And it's going viral on TikTok right now because Greaseball is played by a woman, so everyone's like, oh my gosh, butch lesbian Greaseball is my new thing. So this put it back on my radar. I knew about it as a kid because my dad really liked it. Shout out, Dad. And he like brought it up to me. Big thing with this, and the reason it's not done often, the set. You want to take a guess at how much it cost?
I'm gonna guess like $100,000.
$24 million.
Oh my god!
The whole thing is done on roller skates because they're trains. They need wheels. It's all done on roller skates.
Oh my god!
So that's my current obsession: is the Starlight Express being done in London right now. Yeah.
I will have to look into that because I've never heard of the Starlight Express.
The huh?
The Starlink was what I was thinking of with Elon Musk. My bad.
Oh, the whole premise, literally the whole premise, is essentially Rusty is Train who, oh no, he's the little guy. He's not going to win the race. There's no way he can beat Greaseball and Electra. And then basically he gets the girl, and then he's like, no, I believe in myself, so I can. And so he beats them. Spoiler alert, he beats them. But it all takes place in the mind of a little boy. In the original one, it's the mind of a little boy. So he's like the announcer, and he's announcing what happens. And in the original one, he's moving toy trains as they're racing around the track, like on roller skates. So he's moving the trains to see who like gets further. It's really cool.
Huh.
Definitely strongly recommend. Really great songs.
Okay.
Butch lesbian Greaseball's like the new thing on TikTok.
Starlight Express. Okay. Huh.
Yeah, you want a very 80s musical? That.
I love me a good very 80s musical.
So yeah, that's my current obsession. That's what made me think of this segment.
I love that for you, honestly. I will try my best to think of new things I'm obsessed with every week. Also, I think I'm done with my Outlook calendar.
Oh, I am most definitely not.
You want to see it? I just put little stickers on it.
That's so cute!
Right?
That's very cute.
Thank you.
This is progress update.
Cute. Love.
Some of them are drying, and then I'm doing the edges in this gold Sharpie I found.
What do we usually do to close out? We usually have a segment.
Advice?
Oh, yeah.
Cute things that Sammy did. If you don't have a cute thing, I have a cute thing Sammy did from when I was watching him.
Okay. Let's do advice. How to deal with the holidays.
Advice for dealing with the holidays? Wireless headphones.
Ooh, good. Wireless headphones, and then
booze if you're of age.
Yep, booze, or an edible if that's more your type. That's my advice for the holidays. It's okay to be alone on the holidays. If you want to be alone on the holidays, you be alone on the holidays. Like, I am not that sad about being alone for Christmas. Because I don't like Christmas. It's a very stressful time.
It's also like just another day. I know it's like Christmas, it's a big thing. It's just another day deep down. It really does matter.
Truly. Exactly. It's just another day, but people will get hyped up for it.
And if people really want to see you, they'll move it for you. Like, that was the whole thing with my mom's family, is they wanted to see me and my cousin, so they moved it to Friday for him, and they were doing it late in the afternoon for me.
Yep. If they wanted to, they would.
Literally. And that like doesn't just go for partners. That goes for your family too.
That goes for literally and friends too.
Oh yeah.
Literally everyone. Alright. And then what cute thing did Sammy do?
So when I was watching him, whenever I came over, I'd be on the phone with Hunter because it was like I'd come early in the morning or I'd be later at night. So it was like I didn't want to be by myself. So I was on FaceTime with Hunter, and I would prop the phone up, and every single time Sammy would go sit in front and just stare at him, and I thought it was so funny. Because Hunter was like on his computer, he was getting ready for work, so And like Sammy would just go and plop right in front of my phone and just stare at him. And oh,
He's
producer
been
for the pod,
no, truly.
Sammy on the ones and twos.
Sammy has been on the ones and twos the entire pod, so if it sounds janky, that's why. Sorry. But yeah. Let's see. Was it? I feel like I'm missing something. That's why I keep going back. I think that's it. The next podcast you will hear Emma's update from Disneyland.
Well, of Disneyland. It's not from.
No, yeah, about Disneyland.
I honestly thought about trying to film in Disneyland.
You should have filmed it on like Space Mountain or something.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, what if I film it and we're on different rides?
That would be so cool. Or like in line for a ride, because like Indiana Jones, 2-hour wait.
Oh, you want to talk wait times really quick before we close it out? You want to talk wait times? That app I feel like lied to me because so many times it was like an hour, or an hour and 10 minutes, or an hour and 30 minutes. We got through that like line in 30 minutes, 45 minutes. We were timing it. We started making it a game and started timing it.
I love that. But yeah, so you'll hear that next week. But I hope you all I hope y'all had a good Thanksgiving. This episode will be going out December 2nd. And we'll see you later. Hasta la vista, baby.